Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, Jas, I'd like to show you, Elizabeth, I'd like to show you some of my fairly recent work. This was done last year, and it's called All of Us. I'll face it to the camera first. And this is kind of a personal mandala. Oh, yeah, close. It's a good idea. And then I want to show it. Or you can handle it if you like. Oh. And here I've incorporated, again, the dots. And this time they're silver.
Dots and then diamonds and then diamonds inside circles with the dots inside.
Right.
It's really, and then these sort of these squares, these little sort of lozenge shaped things.
And if, let's say, it was on that wall, and you would walk over it to try to get close enough, what the hell is that? It would appear, at least for me, that these are jewels.
Yeah, no, I get that impression.
These are
Very.
Jewels. It's encrusted with treasure.
Yeah, no, and that impression or that interpretation of it, it really, I got the same impression from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to take you in a different direction.
I just want to say one more thing about this.
Yeah, sure.
I really like the wavy and non-repetitive lines. Because that combined with the more, let's say, coherent geometric shapes.
Yes.
Introduce, I think it makes for this almost like a chaotic wildness
about
it, and not some sort of rigid snap to grid of just circles and squares.
Yes.
You know?
I don't want it to be geometric only.
Yeah. It's not predictable.
Right.
It's patterned but non-repetitive.
Exactly.
Because those lines, I think that
it's a
really
really good observation, because I don't know that everyone would see it that way, but that is my intention, is to have a variety to this and difference.
And I think that's part of what makes it distinctively your artwork, and not someone trying to so-called copy tribal art.
Thanks.
Because I haven't seen as much of it, nearly as much as you have, but I grew up with a lot of Native American and Navajo art in my home, because my grandmother, being a painter and a sculptor, and she collected a lot of those things.
Ooh, we must go visit.
And the and the geometric patterns were not, let's say, punctuated or next to non-repetitive, wavy, free-forming lines. The pattern was, let's say, uncompromised. In that way.
Sure.
So I get right away that this is someone, using elements of tribal art, but not trying to copy or have it be passed for it. And it's very distinctive.
Putting Alex into it.
Yeah.
Into the mix. Let me show you this. This is one that's going to become a large painting. I'll show it to the camera first.
I already snuck a peek.
Oh, okay. And again, think of a personal mandala. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is really. I mean, this is even more of that. What I was saying about the waviness and
it's important to
incorporate
the curves that are in nature with the rigid line. And introduce the two. When you look at your guitar, we have the female shape. Right?
Yeah.
Very distinctive. And then we have the long arm, which again it can be interpreted in many ways. But
the male
rigid.
shape? Sorry, go on. I asked if it was interpreted, one of those is the male shape. So I haven't heard that, but just a guess.
Yeah, the male shape, sure, yeah. Lingam and Oni and Lingam.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and of course you have an aperture in the middle of the woman.
I see.
It's all kind of sexual application. And I wonder if that was in the minds of the early guitar builders. And violin, cello. Maybe somebody was thinking of his girlfriend and started to shape the wood.
Yeah, that's a really interesting. I had not thought about that, but I wonder if it's deliberate, or if those kinds of, let's say, like being drawn to those kinds of images and curvature and then with straight lines and things like that, it's just so embedded into our thinking, almost unconsciously, maybe.
Perhaps it is. Yeah.
Let's get back to
Okay, moving right along, because there is a fair amount here. Let's see, I'm going to say...
I'm worried about the wind over there, Alex.
Oh, too much wind?
Well, I'm worried it might, if you're just going to stack them like that.
What I might do is...
If you want to pass them to me, I can hold them over here.
Yeah,
or...
pass them to you, and especially our paper.
Or, but maybe Jas, give them to Jas to hold.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, yeah, you can hold
you want.
them.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
All right. And
But
now,
actually, like, hold them so they don't...
Yeah, I got it.
let's take a look at what we were talking about earlier.
And actually, maybe for the sake of time, I will do less commentary and I won't sidetrack you
Oh,
so much. And we can just get through them because these, I see there are two in there. They look really amazing.
Okay. This one I'm going to give to you. You have to fold it because there's another image back there. Actually,
Wow.
yeah.
I love it.
And that's the wisdom mask, which I say few wear. The wisdom mask that few wear. That's Tonto.
It's really cool.
These are really stunning.
Yeah. You know, I should have gotten it.
Would you like me to hold one of these? Or?
No, I think we'll be all right.
Okay.
I just have to be careful.
Okay. Wow, this is really something. Like a, yeah, cool. Wow. Yeah. No, this is really, really stunning. And I get what you mean about the brightness and the intimidation.
Yeah, this
of
has
the
all of
boldness.
the elements of the threatening, the strong self-assertion, the dynamic coloration, and the implied threat. Be careful.
Because venomous animals usually have really bright coloration to alert.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or like when you talk about the mandrill.
The mandrill,
with the bright face to
and
convey
the
anger
red
or
butt,
aggression.
The red butt.
Great, okay.
Big angry butt. Yeah, cool.
Let's reverse this is a little bit different, but again, it speaks to that pointillism. And this is Toto, or Tonto. Tonto. And Tonto is, is pretty strong.
It's really strong. That really that illustrates that point you made about the tribal art.
Yeah.
So unmistakable.
And this guy is a little different, but he's the kind of guy that might be in someone's hut, or perhaps here we go. He's
Oh, good, yeah, I got it already on the...
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's a friendly visitor to some of the tribes, and would be able to just go into hut to hut as a visitor, and he might be eventually eaten, but he's also considered a friend.
Very nice.
So yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
These are really wonderful.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
It's so vivid and lively, sort of like hyper real, more real than the real thing in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. This would be the camera. This is two shields side by side. Again, to indicate maybe a family identity. A family's personal crest would be the equivalent of that. Remember when I had in show and tell my family crest on a tie? This would be the equivalent, like perhaps the patriarch of a clan, of a tribe, might have a shield personally designed by him or for him to show his right of dominance, being the man who everyone looks to for the wisdom.
I see.
I love that one.
Oh.
I feel like I see faces in it a little bit.
Yeah, oh yes, yes, okay. Now, let's see, there's three more.
You can hold one.
This is very different.
never mind.
This is a meditating frog, and he's African. And he lives in a kind of a tide pool area, or pond, rather. Meditating frog. Oh, sorry. And
Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, wow.
What about his appearance indicates that he's meditating, or how do you know?
That same question.
that he's meditating?
Besides the fact that you know.
The fact that he is stable on his lotus pad or whatever he's sitting on, and just kind of looking out. He's not concerned. He's stable. He's just relaxed. So that would be my interpretation what is that frog doing? He's not croaking. He's not ribbit. So maybe he's meditating.
This is interesting to me in that it has less sharp outlines
Right,
than
right.
it compared to, I think, every single thing else of yours that I've seen.
Yes. It's very different. And the reason for that is I was watching a program on frogs, and I was painting at the same time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I was looking at the coloration of the video,
Yeah.
and it was very muted and dark.
Yeah.
So I thought, I find that I can adjust my art in any way needed. In other words, I can do realistic or I can do abstract expressions. It's just a question of the mood I'm in or the influence of that particular time period.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and I noticed the same thing that Elizabeth pointed out about, and also that the colors don't, let's say, walk outside of the realm of what color these things would be in real life, right? I can say that better. The colors are realistic.
They're not psychedelicized like some of my other work.
Right.
Or surprising. I think that's because what you said, I think
Yeah.
there's not like pinks and purples just
Right,
for flourish.
Right. It's not.
Yes,
It's not.
yes.
Yeah.
And I could very well do one like that.
Yeah. It's not loud in that way, and I don't mean loud pejoratively at all. I mean it's not.
It's not that.
It's not a larger than life rendering.
Yeah.
It seems. Yeah. It's more.
And I think that's because he's meditating.
I was about to say that. I think.
Yeah.
I think
In other
maybe,
words, I want this to be seen as something serene, and you could be when you look at him, you're in the forest with him, and you're happy or you're calm. That's a calm one.
It is. Yeah. It's definitely common. Yeah. I mean that compared to that face.
Yeah.
With the with the fuchsia and the.
Sure.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah.
Good.
Very cool.
I'm glad that's.
I'm a kid in a candy store. This is absolutely
Oh,
such
all right.
a delight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two more. in
Jazz,
this
maybe you can start bringing them up for the camera.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't want you to keep getting them. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Now this is something entirely different. Let me read it first. I wrote on this that this is the kind of special place that we often go to in our best dreams. Have you been there?
So I'll put this up. Yeah. This is so
And then
cool.
there's something.
Tell me how's that?
You want to take closer?
I got it, but you can. Yeah.
I love it. I have been eyeing it from your stack. That's enough. That's good.
Cool.
Okay.
It's
This
fabulous.
is where I employ the collage.
And the fox.
And the fox, yeah.
Is that because?
Yeah, that's me. There's
Okay.
Ray. And this is also me. This is a totem from Alaska that I particularly like. And I thought of myself, if I were on a totem, I'd want to look just this way.
Now, is the bear? Are these bears? Is that a reference to your friend?
No, this one is not.
Okay.
No, just things that happen to be around.
Sometimes the bear is just a bear.
Sometimes just a
As
bear.
the saying
A
goes.
cigar is just a good cigar.
Yeah.
You know that one.
Yeah. We're on the same. We park our cars in the same garage.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, the coloring here integrates.
May I hold it up while we're pointing at it? If it
Yeah,
doesn't?
sure.
Yeah.
The color integrates the images.
I love the cutout photographs.
Is that what you mean?
And when I was suggesting to you guys to find imagery, and I gave you a few things.
You did.
Maybe this is an impetus to look at those images or others that you select and incorporate drawing around them.
I do that with some of my paintings,
Okay.
and I find like cutout shapes just that are around that happen to fit in nicely.
Sure.
Let's talk about this after, but something I'd love to show you. I think.
Yeah.
They look really
Yeah.
cool.
We'll have
For
to see
stuff
them.
that does that, it's compelling in a similar way to your stuff too.
And the finale of this is a self-portrait.
That's amazing.
The golden voice.
And what is important here is all of these sayings are part of this. May I read a few?
Please.
Please.
Yes.
Okay.
First, you want to see it up close?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, a little up, and just nice. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's fine. Just a quick. That's good. Thanks.
Cool.
Let me just read a few of those.
Sure.
To you. Yeah. Always listen to great music when you are creating. Sleeping is more important than anything. Women are so much easier to talk to.
That says a lot about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Good things.
Desire doesn't play favorites. It's there for all of us.
Could you
That's
elaborate
a
on that?
trip.
Yeah, in other words, Leslie is enamored of this particular actor on television. He's done a long series, and he's very handsome. And many, many women think he's it. He's just personifies the ideal man. And so I always razz her about that. And she will say, well, I'm not the only one that likes him. Jamie, this is other women, thousands of women write in online to say how much they would love to have him. Totally possessed by this man. His physical appearance, his sweet character, his very nice persona. And so that made me realize that it's not just desire from Leslie. It's desire. We have to remember that if we see someone desirable, there are a lot of people, a lot of women that are looking at the same.
You will not be the only one who admires someone who is almost objectively admirable.
Right. And I think Jamie is capable, when I've seen him interviewed, of being available to everyone in the incredible sweet nature that he possesses. So if he's in public and there's time for autographing photos with Jamie, it personifies, in my view, what a celebrity should do.
Like gracious.
And be available to your public because they made you.
Right.
So
Well,
show respect.
They made you the celebrity, but they didn't make you that became the celebrity. I would think.
Well, in other words, they helped. Yes, you had an inborn talent to be appealing and to do a good job acting. But if no one watched you, that talent wouldn't really matter.
Right, the world embraced him, and that's why, and the positive reception of his work is why it's continued and why it's why it's escalated to why his career has blown up.
Absolutely.
Right, because you have the sort of the unsung hero or the unrecognized genius, and they might be a genius, but that's the difference, right? It's the public's reception and being rewarded, sort of being rewarded by the world for what you do.
That's
And
exactly
sharing
right.
it with them.
The author of the book upon which the series is based, it's now in its 7th year. This woman has authored all of these books, and when she saw Jamie during the staging or the selection of the cast, she said, that's I know.
Yeah.
So
someone clearly just so distinguished.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So that he's very impressive.
And
So that's
you
back
identify
to-
with that.
I identify with that theory, and again, the old paparazzi story that I told before. The paparazzi want to see you, Alex. Okay, let's see. I've got 3 days, and we'll go to dinner. What's your wife cooking? I'm available. I'm not going to shut my unless, of course, I'm having dinner with Leslie and someone insists on interrupting my dinner. I've got to get your autograph. Then I might be a little bit. A tiny bit.
Right, that there are still boundaries around it, but that you endeavor to be gracious and to be grateful for the admiration and to not see it as an imposition.
Exactly. And when I've met great people, they've treated me that way. I don't know if you know the actor Cornell Wilde. Cornell Wilde was really big, like Errol Flynn.
Oh, okay.
And I met him years ago as a young man. He was so gracious to me. And I've met several actors and important people, and they were always particularly interested in saying hello. They may be busy and they'll let you know that they only have a minute, but they acknowledge my presence and say, nice to meet you.
Right, they don't snub you, they're gracious, and they're charismatic, and they make you feel special in a way at that moment.
Exactly. One day I was walking into an agency where I had been in a film as an extra, and Sean Connery was one of the leads. And he walked out of the door as I entered, and I literally walked right into Sean Connery.
An
I said,
enviable
Sean.
thing.
He's a very tall man, isn't he?
Sean. Yeah, he was a little tall. Hi, Sean. He says, hello. Hi. I said, I'm going in to see the dailies. He says, oh, they're quite good. He just died a few months ago.
Yeah.
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 The greatest Bond.
I think when I think of James Bond, I think of Sean Connery.
Yeah. The other ones are okay, but
Tough act to follow. In their defense, he's a tough act to follow.
yeah, oh, he is.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah.
He is. So this is a little bit more, just a little bit more about
Yeah, a couple.
this.
Yeah, please.
It's the way I see myself much of the time. In other words,
I love a lot of these things that you have. I've been reading them. They're really, I'm sorry.
No, good.
Meet me halfway.
I see a lot of characteristics maybe embodied in these thoughts that kind of reflect maybe my mind a little bit. So my thinking might reflect many of these sayings at any given time. And I thought, well, why not put while I'm drawing?
Oh, that's a really good, interesting idea. I love that.
Why don't I put some ideas down of what I'm going through, what I'm thinking about?
Yeah.
I'm very much affected by people's sayings.
Yeah.
And I'll want to write them down or remember. Well, that was a great saying. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
And my trip books are full of those.
Yeah. Could you read us?
Meaningful things that people say. And sometimes they're not planning to be impressive. It just comes out. Wow,
Yeah.
that's damn good.
Yeah. Could you read a few more of those? A couple more of those?
Yeah, sure, yeah. And then I want to show you some sculpture if we have time.
Yeah.
Let's see. You and me.
Yeah.
In other words, well, we often forget that we're not just alone. There is a me. I mean, there is a you.
Right.
You and me right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And that's important.
We need more time. We need more time.
Yeah.
And then the Chambers Brothers. You know the Chambers Brothers? Oh, you must. Yeah, must. They do a record called Time, and they keep saying time, and it goes on for maybe 10 minutes. This incredible. I wonder if you could find. Is it possible to find on your?
Well, yeah, we can. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
When we're done, I'll see if I can find it.
Chambers Brothers.
Okay.
4 black guys, and they came out in the maybe 80s.
Okay.
Really superb. But
I'm surprised I haven't heard of them, but I'm happy to be learning about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Another one might be here for you. Let's love. Let's love.
Let L-E-T apostrophe S. Is that what you said? Let's, not
Yeah,
less.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yes.
Yeah. Less love, please. What the world needs now, less of that love stuff.
I am right since I am right brain.
That's quite.
I only want to listen to good music. Yesterday I was down here talking to some people, nice couple, and this guy comes by with a huge amp, giant amp, and it's got colored lights blaring, and he's playing Hispanic music really loud, and he's got it on a dolly, so he's skating and rolling this giant amp, blaring this music. And I could no longer hear what my friends were saying, nor could they hear me. I thought, wow, that might be good music in the context, but not in paradise. And of course, it's inconsiderate.
And the imposition of it, right?
Yeah.
This now becomes everyone's activity, whether they want to or not.
And I don't know whether he's thinking that this is so good I want to share it, or this is so good and I don't give a damn what you think.
I think it's often the latter, that this is so great and I'm having a fabulous experience because it's so loud and I'm walking and it's fucking amazing for him, but...
The couple on your train ride.
Yeah. And the conversation that you didn't get to have because it was too loud for it.
Exactly. And it curtailed our time together because he's staying there. He's going to probably be there for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and also it reminds me of someone who just it feels great to drive really fast on the freeway.
Yeah.
But it's thrilling, right? The same way that I think
Sure.
really loud music, while you're doing something, is kind of exhilarating.
Yeah.
But it's not the most. Obviously, there's a great difference in degree here.
And we have to remember that everybody's taste is different.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to blare Beethoven, if possible, that might be offensive for someone too.
There are different kinds of reasons that it's not okay to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just that it's disruptive fundamentally, right? right?
Yeah.
That being one of them.
Right, right. And you're violating my personal space.
Yeah.
It's kind of like people that talk to you and they get really, really close. You know, while they're communicating with you. I have a neighbor like that. He gets this close.
I've seen less of that in the last year
Really?
for some reason.
Yeah, but it's really annoying. I almost want to say, hey, Ernie, move away a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not this Ernie. He's or Ed, this is Eddie.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, Eddie's very polite. But Ernie is just clueless. He's looking on top of it. And he does that to Leslie. Really, it's crazy.
Let's remember that we're still recording.
Oh, yes.
I have one other question about that last piece of art
Yes,
you showed us.
yes.
Can you talk about... Wait, let's wait.
Yeah, let's get it for a second.
I'm going to ask you to talk about the golden voice thing at the
Golden
bottom.
voice?
I'm just
Oh,
curious
yes,
if you can...
yes, yes, yeah.
But,
Glad you saw that.
yeah.
It's
Not,
pretty, yeah.
okay, now, yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, the golden voice here is that sometimes, I don't know if you've had this experience, I'll be sitting usually alone in a chair, having some Alex time, as Peter would say, Peter time, mine is Alex time. And so I'm just sitting, and my father was particularly good at this. He would sit in the dark and smoke cigars and talk to himself, and we would leave him alone. He'd be reviewing things that happened in the office at the bank, and that was Dad's thing. And I thought, well, I don't smoke cigars. I don't. Sometimes on my